everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are diving into a movie I've been super excited to talk about, The Accountant 2. I love the first one, but honestly, I think the sequel might actually be even better. So with that, let's get right into it.
Go.
So to start, if you remember seeing the original Accountant back in theaters like I do, you know the hype was real. I still remember watching the very first amazing trailer months before the movie came out. It builds so much excitement, and that's exactly why I watched it a few weeks ago. And I remember when the movie finally dropped, it absolutely delivered. Now fast forward to the sequel, and let me tell you guys, it didn't disappoint either. What a hell of a movie. What really makes The Accountant 2 shine is that it doesn't need to waste time setting things up. The world, the characters, the tone, it's already in place from the first one. So from the jump, the movie feels faster, tighter, and honestly, it's just more fun. The action feels bigger and cleaner. The story moves quickly without feeling rushed. The world feels lived in, and even more interesting than before. Is it the most groundbreaking story ever told in this one? Not really. But it's a fun, energetic ride that knows exactly what it is. And that's something a lot of sequels screw up. But this one absolutely nails it. I actually talked to a few people when I left the theater, and they were saying the same thing, that a lot of sequels, don't add up and don't measure up to that first one. But this one this one did. So now let's talk about the characters, because they are a huge reason this movie works so well. You see Ben Affleck return as Christian Wolf. And that really felt so natural. It was like we'd never left. And Jon Bernthal? Man, Jon Bernthal. He brings so much raw energy to the scene that he's in. The chemistry between Ben Affleck and Bernthal were next level in this movie. Every time they're in a scene, it's really fun to see how the relationship has evolved. You feel the tension, the understanding, and even the weird sort of brotherly bond without them, overly making it cheesy. For example, the speed dating scene that we see in the trailer at the very beginning, it's one of the funniest moments of the film. It's just hilarious seeing Christian Wolf in that kind of awkward social environment after he plays amongst his strengths with math,
Eventually, this body will be a corpse.
What do you mean you reverse engineered our algorithm?
By tokenizing your questions in an embedding matrix and generating a predictive model for the most effective answers, which I provided.
That's when Jon Bernthal comes in later on in the film, when we see from the trailer, in that bar scene. It's the perfect blend of humor and badassery, and moments like that remind you how clever the writing can be, even if the overall story isn't super complex. One thing I also really appreciate about this movie is how The Accountant 2 expands the world without really making it overly complicated. Kind of like a John Wick, as you would. It builds off the first movie's foundation instead of trying to reinvent the wheel. You get glimpses of this broader underground network, the financial crime world, the mercenary world, and it makes everything feel way bigger without losing focus on, Christian Wolf's personal story. The locations, the offices, the action scenes, everything about this movie just really, really stands out for me. Now, I have a few criticisms because it's not a perfect movie. But if you're looking for a super deep twist or a story that changes your life, this is probably not going to hit on that level. It's not the most interesting plot ever, but honestly, it's not trying to be. And that's what I love about this movie, because it's an action thriller with heart, and it succeeds at being just that. It's pretty much a fun buddy cop movie with Jon Bernthal still in the show at every scene, and it's really, really funny. Now, the big question that I have, will we get an Accountant 3? Honestly, I doubt it. It's rare for small action series like this to keep going unless they blow up financially. But if they do somehow greenlight a third film, I am all in. The team has shown that they know how to treat these characters with respect and make it fun without losing the emotional core. If we ever get a third movie, I genuinely think it could be very, very, very amazing. So wrapping up, The Accountant 2 was everything I hoped for and more. It's a really fun sequel that respects the first movie, but doesn't just rehash it. The action's great, the story's engaging, and the characters feel real and mostly, important of this. I feel like it's just a good time at the movies. If you love the first one like I did, or even if you're looking for a solid action thriller to check out, I can't recommend it enough. And now, if you haven't checked out the first one, definitely go watch that movie. That movie still stands up today. So seriously, go watch it, have some fun, and let's hope somehow, some way, that we get a third one. Thanks for hanging out with me for this review. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and For more movie breakdowns, drop a comment below. Let me know your thoughts of The Accountant 2. And with that, I will see you guys on the next one.
So it's been a minute. Braxton, thank you for coming. I'm really glad you're here.
Did she tell you to say that?
Yeah.